Welcome back. Vicky Kelty here, and we're going to start with my study stats for the week. And drum roll, please. We have 25 minutes of French practice that was super active, very involved French practice. And then I also have my leisure stats where I was in contact with the language, but maybe not so active. I was a bit detached from it, just hanging out on my sofa. And for that, I had 80 minutes of watching Mystery in Paris, a TV show in French. So, with that, we start the first episode where I share about my French language practice. And what I want to start with is, what is my plan? What do I want to do with French this school year? Well, this plan is completely open to change. It could change at any moment. Be prepared. I really like to give myself the flexibility and the freedom to adapt as and when I so desire. And I hope that you do the same with your language practice. But what I was thinking about when I was deciding on my French plan was, what am I working towards with French? What is my end goal? So I think that maybe that question can help you decide what you want to have happen with your English practice. And what I want with French is I want a really well-rounded practice. I'm still at a point with French that I want to cover all my bases. I want to do speaking and listening and reading and writing, grammar, vocabulary, pronunciation. I want it all, okay? And the issue that comes up with wanting it all is that for me, what I sometimes do is I do too much because I want to do it all every single time I practice. And especially in this moment where I have been really lax with my French practice, I haven't been doing much of anything. And so now I'm getting back into it and I'm so excited and everything's fresh and new and it's so great, which means that I tend to overdo it. And when I overdo it, I burn out really quickly. And then this year-long podcast has become a month-long podcast because I've burned out and bye-bye French practice. So, how am I going to overcome this potential for fizzling out too quickly with my French practice? And I have decided that having a specific plan is what I'm going to focus on this time. So I like to play around. I've done many different ways of practicing languages, and this time I'm going to use my past experience and I'm going to give myself options. So, because as I mentioned, I have all of these things that I want to learn because I want to have this really well-rounded knowledge in French, I don't want to become really overwhelmed when going into my practice and try to do all the things or not know where to start. So I'm going to give myself like 4 options. I'm going to have 4 options on the table. So if I want to practice reading that day, I have an option available for reading. If I want to practice writing, then I have another option available for that. So I choose one, I do it, see how that went, and then I can go on from there. Because what I noticed is that if I'm too laid back with my plan, then it actually undermines my progress because it's not giving me enough structure in the beginning when I'm like really excited. And then it goes into that burnout that I was talking about. And again, this is just for me. So adapt this as you will. Like take these little nuggets that you relate to and use them to benefit your own learning because we're each different, but they're always little nuggets, little bits of wisdom that we can get from other people's struggles and triumphs. So, yeah, that is my plan. And actually, it's off to a really good start because I focused on listening in my study hall session. So, you can check out that replay of the live to get a full review of how that went, what I did, and all of that. And yeah, basically, that is what my French practice is going to be focusing on. And I also would just add that part of the reason that I think that this is a good way to go about it is because I'm getting back into my routine. I've been away from structured French practice. And so I want to get back into it, give myself a little bit of structure. And then once I have that, then I will likely go into a more laid back form of practice because I will be back in the swing of things and I'll feel really comfortable with it. And I am opting for the well-rounded pursuit of French because of where I'm at with the language. I'm a beginner, and so I can do a lot of basic things, but I want to do more. And I think that by covering all of these skills in my practice, that I will be able to do that little by little. This is the same as what I would suggest English learners do for their English practice as well to make it a more rounded experience, even though in our classes, we'll focus on the speaking aspect. I always support the like one-on-one, the personalized classes that I offer. I always offer homework options that would include those extra parts of writing or grammar even or listening, etc., according to what the student is looking for. And then we get to dig into the speaking in class. So, obviously, on my own, I have to make it all work for me. But I think that with my action plan, with doing a mix of all the skills, I will be able to cover the same things. I just have to be a little more motivating to myself because there's not a teacher here. Well, I'm the teacher, but I mean, like, I don't have a private teacher in that sense. Like, my students have me to support them. So, wish me luck on my journey, and I wish you luck on yours. Feel free to share what your plan is for your language. Happy studying.